Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you can tell by the title of this video what we're gonna be doing today. I need to organize my home decor. As you can see behind me, it's a complete disaster. I just have stuff everywhere. It's all over the place. It's actually spilling onto the shelf that my husband uses for all of his stuff. So we need to get it back over onto my shelf, and I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of what we're dealing with. Okay, so here's my shelf where I store all of my home decor. Mind you, this is not seasonal stuff. This is like year-round stuff that I can transition from season to season. So that's what you're seeing here on the top shelf. I just have mostly baskets, and then there's like some bins full of disposable tableware, like stuff that I use for parties. This shelf right here is supposed to be all of my planters or vases, stuff like that. It's getting a bit messy, as you can see, so I need to do something about that. On this shelf, I have trays, picture frames, more planners, little houses. We have candlesticks, just like little table decor items. Over here, I have a terrarium and a couple of lanterns. And then down here is a complete disaster. I kind of just have stuff sitting down here. I have like buffet serving trays, more planners, baskets, bins, trays, more pictures. Everything is just thrown into a pile and needs to be desperately organized. So that's what we're gonna do. So basically, this is my little home store. This is where I shop year round. So I wanna get everything organized so it's easier to find and just make it look a little bit prettier. I did end up buying a few things to help me organize a little bit better. I found these stackable shelves. They have like the pull-out drawers. So I have 4 of them. Those are from Walmart, and they were around $10 each. And this is also from Walmart. I bought a 22-inch French flower bucket for all of my longer stems. I found these hanging flower buckets at Hobby Lobby yesterday. These are originally around $19, so on sale they're $9.50. I got 4 of those for some of the shorter stems that I have. And then these stackable wire baskets I found at the Salvation Army, and they were only $2 each, so $4 total, which I thought was a great deal. I actually found a lot of storage containers at the thrift stores. Unfortunately, they didn't have like multiple of them. It was just maybe like one large, one small, so I needed things that I could stack easily, and these were perfect. Before I start tackling this mess, I have some footage that I wanted to share with you guys from thrifting this week. I'm really trying to get back into it. I hit up Goodwill, Salvation Army, Savers, and a local thrift store called Castaways. So we're gonna take a look throughout some of those stores, and I will show you my haul when we get back. Every time I thrift, I'm always on the lookout for copper items. This kettle immediately caught my eye. I already own 3 copper tea kettles, but it never hurts to have just one more, at least for today. I recently found out this etched brass planner is called a flower frog and is made in India. It's very pretty and definitely an interesting find. I almost wanted to bring these candles home with me. $7 is a great price, especially for a set that comes with a remote. These brass coasters are really pretty with the floral designs. I was hoping to find the complete set as I was browsing the store, but sadly I could only find these 2. I thought these were bookends at first until I flipped them around and saw that they were little wall sconce shelves. This basket was without a price tag, but I thought the color was really pretty. I'm always drawn to that shade of green, especially during the spring season. Do you see what I mean? I spotted another green item on the shelf. It just calls to me, I guess. I have no idea where it's from or who made it, but I thought it was a cute little pottery piece. I've said this before in my other thrifting videos. If you're in need of an Easter basket, whether it's for decor purposes or to fill with Easter candy, thrift stores are the place to go. They always have a variety to choose from, different sizes, shapes, and colors, and most of the time the prices are pretty decent. I'm always scoping out the baskets every time I go thrifting. Lately, I've been looking for a glass pitcher, so I was excited when I saw this. It's very pretty and made really well. I just can't find it anywhere online or who makes it, so if you know, please comment down below. If you guys are new to my channel, then you're probably not aware that I've been collecting Falstaff Heritage stoneware, so I was very excited to see this mixing bowl set. It's definitely coming home with me. Here's another Falstaff piece. This is a salt box from their Yorktown collection. I was tempted to bring this home only because I like the blue design, but decided to leave it behind. If I didn't already own this Falstaff soup tureen, it would have gone right in my cart. Mine is missing the ladle, so I thought about bringing it home just for that reason, but decided not to. I didn't feel like paying $13 just for a ladle, so I left it on the shelf for someone else. So the first thing I brought home was that sweet little brass basket. I thought it would be so cute mixed in with my spring and Easter decor. I love the patina and the design on the handle. This brass piece was made in India and I only paid $3.50 for it. I love this crystal salt and pepper shaker set. Each shaker only costs $1.99 each. Such a good price. These are made by Rogers & Son. They look vintage, but I'm pretty sure they were made in the 90s. Maybe that's considered vintage now, which is annoying because it makes me feel old. The tops are supposed to be silver plated, but obviously it's all worn off, which I don't mind. I prefer copper anyway. Hopefully I'll be able to use them. I need to inspect them a bit more, but I think they'll be okay for everyday use. I picked up two of these vintage milk glass anchor hocking bud vases in the stars and bars design. I found one last year when thrifting, so I was happy to find two more. I really like the look of multiple bud vases standing together on a shelf or mantle, so hopefully I can find a few more that are a bit taller to complete the look I'm going for, and these were $4 each. I did bring home that green little jug. Like I said earlier, I really like that jadeite color, although this piece has sort of a bluish undertone, but I think this color is very pretty, especially for spring. Hopefully I can find a place for it. It was only $2, and I have some other decor pieces that are similar in color, so we'll see if they all coordinate when I finally decorate for spring. I have been looking for a mortar and pestle for quite some time. I always find a ton of marble ones, but never one that has this stone look to it. It was pretty dirty and all taped up, which if you thrift, you know how annoying that tape can be to remove. So after a lot of soaking and scrubbing, they cleaned up so nice. The larger mortar and pestle cleaned up perfectly. They look brand new. The smaller mortar is still a bit stained in some spots, so I'm going to work on that a little bit more. This porcelain set was made in the 1940s in Trenton, New Jersey, as you can see on the bottom. It also says acid resisting, and the number 1 on the mortar and the faint B on the pestle represent the size. So that was a fun find, and it only cost me $5.99. This copper bowl isn't anything too special, but I thought maybe I could use it as a planter in my kitchen, and it was only $2. I told you guys I would be bringing this copper kettle home. I really liked the wood handle and brass detail on this one. The inside is lined with pure nickel and was never used because the instructions and warranty papers were still inside. So it's always nice to find something that's never been used. I have one similar to this with a blue and white ceramic handle, but like I said, it doesn't hurt to have one more. I love having copper pieces displayed in my kitchen, and for only $7.99, it was worth picking up. I found this hanging basket at the Salvation Army. I thought it was so cute. I really liked the brown leather strap and how sturdy the basket was. It seemed to be made really well. I'm always curious when I see a stamp or name on the bottom of a thrifted item, so naturally I looked up Longaberger baskets online and found a lot of interesting information. To know if your basket is an authentic Longaberger, it has to be made of maple wood, it has to have the company stamp on the bottom along with the year the basket was handwoven, and the initials of whoever handmade the basket. It also must have tiny tacks that secure the top band. Depending on the date and maker of the basket, these can be worth anywhere from several hundreds to several thousands of dollars. I'm happy to say I only paid $4 for this one. As soon as I spotted this picture, I knew I was bringing it home. My husband and I drink a lot of lemon water, so I thought this would be nice to have on the dining table for family dinners. I love the wide rib design, the slightly scalloped edge around the rim, and the shape of the handle. And like I mentioned before, it's pretty heavy, so I feel like maybe it was worth spending $15 on it. It seems a little pricey for a thrifted item, but I was really impressed with the quality. As soon as I brought these mixing bowls home, I wanted to clean them up to see the condition they were in, and thankfully they all basically look brand new, so super happy about that. Believe it or not, these bowls are pretty pricey individually. I know the large bowl sells for around $60 on replacements.com, the small bowl around $35, and some are even selling a used set for $100. I bought them for 20 bucks, and these bowls are the perfect example of why I enjoy thrifting. And the last item I found was this popover baking pan. It's pretty much brand new. It looks like it's hardly ever been used, maybe not even at all. I only paid $4 for it. It's selling on Amazon for around $30, so that was a great deal. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my thrift haul. I have a lot of work to do, so let's get started. So per usual, every time I start an organizing project, as I'm taking everything off of the shelves, I'm categorizing it, making separate piles on the garage floor, which you can't see at the moment, but I will show you once we get everything cleared off. I'm not sure many of you know, we moved into this house the first week of December 2019. It was completely unplanned, but that's a whole story in itself. I purged so many things before we moved out of our last home, so a lot of what you're seeing is an accumulation of the last 3 years. I feel like I used to impulse buy, but the last few months I've really focused on purchasing items that are timeless and classic, things that I can use year after year or season to season. Obviously, each season you're going to change out things like florals and textiles if you can. I don't spend any money on clothes or purses or shoes, so whatever money I'm spending usually goes into our home. Someone recently made a comment to me on one of my videos that whatever I was purchasing at that moment, I think it was at Target, that those items I was purchasing would be donated to the thrift stores in 3 months, implying that I buy trendy things and get rid of them within a matter of months. It made me laugh because that's not how I roll. Yes, I donate quite often. It's usually clothes and shoes that my boys outgrow. But when it comes to home decor, I hang on to that stuff as long as I can and try to reuse it or repurpose it throughout my home. Okay, so we have everything off of the shelf besides the bottom. I'm probably gonna just leave that there. I really don't know where else to put it, so that's gonna stay there for now. I'm definitely gonna try to rearrange all of that and just make it look a little bit nicer and maybe fit in there a little bit better. So I basically just separated everything into categories. So you can see here I have all of my stems and potted plants or flowers. And then back here we have baskets and buckets. And I also put all of the disposable tableware over there. Right here I have candle holders, lanterns, and a terrarium. And then over here are all of my pots and planters. Back here we have all of the vases. Here are signs and frames. And then over here I have trays and risers, and then back there is a wine stand that I'm probably gonna get rid of. And then over here I have candle holders and books, houses, and just other random table decor items. Here is my pile of miscellaneous stuff. I'm probably gonna get rid of most of this. I'm not sure yet. I'm definitely getting rid of those cookie canisters and that little wood one sign. That's from my son's first birthday party, like 8 years ago. So I can definitely get rid of that. And then I'm sure I'm gonna be adding a few more pieces to this pile. I'm starting with the lower shelf just because I already have a bunch of kitchen appliances that I know will be staying here. It's just a lot easier to keep them in this lower area since we use them quite often for parties and holidays. Beneath the shelf is where I store all of our doormats and accent rugs. Honestly, my husband just kind of threw them under there one day and I was like, well, that works for me. So I just left them there. You can see we have an air fryer slash toaster oven on the right side. That's our old one. It still works, so we'll use it for holidays if we need an extra oven. And that KitchenAid mixer still works as well, but for some reason, it leaks oil or something out of the mixer part. So needless to say, I don't use it anymore and I'm in need of a new one. On the top shelf is where I'll be displaying all my baskets and buckets. Thankfully, I have those 2 wood risers my husband made for me last year for our pantry. He actually made 4, so I left 2 on the top shelf of our pantry and decided I could use the other 2 out here on the shelf to help give some extra shelving space. Obviously, I can condense some of the baskets by placing them inside one another, which I will end up doing if I add more baskets to the shelf. These next 2 shelves took a little bit of time to organize and decide what would be easier to access on each shelf. I originally planned to keep all the planners and vases on the same shelf as the stackable bins with the drawers, but that ended up not working out. It just wasn't enough space for all of it to fit together. So once I stocked the wire bins with all of the smaller planners, I decided to move it up one shelf and keep all of those items together on the same shelf. It just made more sense to me. That white wire pan organizer was a thrift find. They actually sell that one at Target, and I know this because I bought one when I was organizing all of our sheet pans in our kitchen cabinets, and I believe they still have it in store. It works so well to help organize all of my frames and table trays. I'm thinking of buying one more just because it's so helpful with condensing these particular items. That large white bin from IKEA is filled with all of my larger table decor items, and I'm using the other large white bin to store all of my faux potted plants that I use throughout my home year round. I have quite a bit of space left to work with, so I'll be placing my larger serving trays and oversized dough bowl up on the top shelf, and then on the bottom shelf I have a bit of space left as well, so that's where I'll be storing these larger decorative planters. I have been wanting to display all of my florals for such a long time, so this part was exciting for me. Not only did I want my shelf to look neat and tidy, but I wanted it to be aesthetically pleasing, so what better way than to add some florals? You can see here I'm just using black zip ties to secure the buckets to the shelf. Very simple, anyone can do it. My favorite local home store always has their florals displayed in tin buckets and baskets throughout all of the home decor, and I just love the way it looks. It gives off vibes of vintage and antique shop. So that was one of my goals when planning to organize all of my home decor. I wanted it to feel as though I am shopping at home in my own little store. I'm really happy with how this turned out, although I'm pretty sure I will eventually be adding a few more flower buckets, but for now, this works out great. Okay, so I think I decided I want to spray the taller bucket black. I'm pretty sure I have matte black spray paint around here somewhere. So I just want them to match with the smaller black buckets just so they're cohesive and they kind of blend in with the black shelf. And yeah, so let's go do that and then we'll hang it up. And here is the finished project. Nothing too fancy, but it's practical enough for me. I now know where everything is. It's easy to see, it's easy to find, and decluttering and condensing everything gave me so much more room to work with, and I still have enough space on a couple of the shelves if I need to add anything else. I love the added touch of the floral buckets and flowers, and you'll see on the top shelf on the left, I placed a bunch of smaller floral stems in the large metal bucket to give it that flower market feeling. The more florals, the better. I decided to utilize the space on the outer left side of the shelf. I had two wreath hangers with nothing on them, so I used one for two of my smaller wreaths and the other for the larger wreaths. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really needed to get this project done before I start getting out all of my spring and Easter decor because that's always a big chore and usually a big mess. So now I feel a little bit better about it. It always feels good and makes you feel like your life is in order when things are organized. At least it does for me. So now I can check that off my list. Don't forget, I will be giving away a $100 Target gift card once I hit 20,000 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to be eligible to win. Details will be in the description box. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up as well as hitting that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.